Some questions are more direct than others. We Southerners often have a way of asking questions in a bit of a roundabout way that is anything but direct. But Jesus often asks the most direct questions. Hello, I'm Stuart Baskin, pastor of First Presbyterian Church of Tyler, Texas. And this is your daily devotional for Tuesday, November 25th, 2025. Today's story, like one we read last week, is about Jesus healing two blind men. The question Jesus asked the first two is as direct as they come. What do you want me to do for you? Today's story is about a different pair of blind men also seeking Jesus' help, but the question Jesus asks is different, but no less direct. Let's listen in on this story as it's found in Matthew chapter 9. As Jesus went on from there, two blind men followed him, crying loudly, "Have mercy on us, Son of David." When he entered the house, the blind men came to him, and Jesus said to them, "Do you believe that I am able to do this?" They said to him, "Yes, Lord." Then he touched their eyes and said, "According to your faith, let it be done to you." And their eyes were opened. Then Jesus sternly ordered them, "See that no one knows of this." But they went away and spread the news about him throughout that district. The question is, do you believe that I am able to do this? I find this question intriguing. It is clear that most of the time when Jesus performs a healing, he attributes the healing to the person's faith. But Jesus rarely, if ever, asks the person whether or not they believe he is able to perform the healing. He almost always simply says something like, "Your faith has made you well." Why now? Why in this case? Why ask these two men if they believe that he can do this thing? After all, isn't it self-evident that they do believe? As with other healing stories, the fact that they've come to ask him for mercy is evidence that they do believe. So it seems to me there are two possibilities here. The first is that it is just happenstance that Jesus asks these two particular people whether they believe that he can do what they ask. He could have asked any of the people he healed along the way this very same thing. Just so happens that it was these two. But this possibility doesn't seem very compelling. Matthew is generally pretty intentional in how he composes his gospel. I doubt, in this case, it was happenstance, which leads to the other possibility. Jesus is testing their faith. In John Calvin's telling of this story, he describes the men as shouting after Jesus on the road, and Jesus simply ignoring them. Then he goes into a house and they follow him in. Pretty audacious, actually. That would surely have been sufficient reason to think that their faith was strong. But Jesus asks them anyway, I believe, to probe the depths of their faith. And finding their faith credible gives them back their sight. I'm not one who likes to dwell on episodes of God testing our faith, because it too often seems as though we believe any hardship in our life is a direct test of our faith by God. But most of the time, hardships just happen. They can certainly become a test of our faith, but not because God has caused the hardship in the first place. But in this case, the hardship already exists. The men are blind. They didn't get blind just because God made them blind. What Jesus does is to get them to declare their faith publicly. And because of their faith, healing comes their way. At this point, there is an enormous caveat I need to insert. You and I get sick all the time. We have loved ones who have been struck down and died way too young by some dread disease, in spite of our fervent prayers for healing. Did they die because their faith wasn't strong enough? Did they die because our faith wasn't strong enough? Not at all. Healings in the Gospels aren't about an even exchange, faith for healing. They are more like signposts along the way that point to a new reality, that God is in the process of restoring creation. So if you pray and don't receive a healing miracle, it's not because of a lack of faith. It's because the healing stories in the gospel are really about healing as much as they are about creation restored. And so now may God continue to bless you and keep you in all that you do this day and in all the days ahead.